G'day Tiger fans and welcome to Talking Tigers, Richmond's live official podcast. I can't believe we're playing this song anyway. We'll get into that soon. What a huge few days it has been in footy. Upset wins, draws, Danger's been suspended, Hodgie's been suspended. There's implications on both these suspensions as we have the Hawks and Cats in the next two games. We'll have a chat about those. Big retirement yesterday. One of the all-time greats, Nick Riewoldt, pulled stumps on his career. We'll have a chat about him. Is it Dusty's Brownlow now? We think it might be, especially Tone. We'll have a chat about Dusty. Why not? We do it every other week. Plus, the passing of a broadcast legend we all loved and admired. And some disturbing news that will come up in Chief Watch. He'd been warned about this. It's not the green stuff, but he was warned a couple of years ago about this. I'll tell you about that. The Spirit of 67 will be here. The VFL report, of course, Lou's here early today. We'll get into him soon. Club news. And boys, I've nailed another yellow and blacker, so we will get into that. If you want to get involved in the show, hashtag Talking Tigers, Stump Greeners, hashtag Stump Greeners. That is Survivor. That is I the Tiger. Mm-hmm. I can't believe it, Tone.
What do you mean? It's one of the all-time great songs from one of the all-time great movies.
You're obsessed with it. We'll get into that in a minute.
All right, okay.
We've got to get straight into this, the VFL.
You're looking sharp. You're looking good. You've come so far. And we know how to make the most of who you are.
It's that time. He's demanded.
He's hijacked the show.
He's demanded that he come on first today, Lou.
This is outrageous.
I want the record to show that I was just showing up early, maybe just to watch a bit of the show, get into it, and jump in a bit later.
You said
you
had a couple of cashies and you needed to go and do them. So
I can't believe it. Anyway, we will get into the VFL. Before we do, the reverse draw at North Ballarat Footy Club on the weekend. Did you have a couple of pig's ears up there?
There are a couple of pig's ears up there. Not too bad. Always fun to get down just in behind at the Lake Wendouree Football and Netball Club there.
You didn't get Molly the Monk, did you?
Did not get Molly
the
Monk, unfortunately.
Good. Mate, it was a good win, another win, and we're into the top four now.
Into the top four, sitting in third, can you believe it, on percentage at the moment, which is a fantastic result, a great indication of how well I think Craig McRae's done with the VFL program this year. Probably wasn't as bigger win as we'd expected last time, after obviously a lot of fans will probably remember in round one when we did them fairly convincingly, I think you'd say.
Yes.
So it came down a bit more to the 40-point mark, but still a great win against a side that's very much improved over the past couple of weeks.
I'll do my job early off the top because everybody on hashtag Talking Tigers wants to talk about one man, and I know Green is what does too.
Our man.
Jack Graham.
Jack Graham.
How did he go? I heard good things.
How good is he?
Unreal, especially I think coming back from his ankle injury.
I think he might have had the flu the previous week too.
Something along the lines of that. Not too
as
sure,
well as the rolled ankle.
As well as the rolled ankle. He's been in the wars, but you wouldn't be able to tell from the way he came out at North Ballarat. 33 disposals, can you believe? 15 of them contested. That obviously highlights one of his great strengths, that contested ball there. Played 3 tackles, 5 marks and 3 clearances as well. So from an inside midfielder, that's just about the complete game from him. Didn't hit the scoreboard, which is probably something that you'd like to see from him, but that's something he can always work on there. But yeah, it was pretty much a Jack Graham show. A very clear standout, I thought, from the first bounce. He was obviously a class above out there.
It's going to be really interesting to watch his progress for the rest of this season. Now, whether he's, whether there is a spot available in the senior side. I mean, obviously the senior side's going pretty well, so maybe not. But even then, just to watch him through, hopefully a long VFL final series.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'll be really exciting.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, if with performances like this, even though it is tight to get spots in that first team now, he's certainly not doing his stocks any harm, I would say.
Now, who did hit the scoreboard for us?
So, leading goal kickers for the day were Ben Lennon and Tyson Stengel, two of the probably most reliable up there. So, Ben Lennon sitting in second, just a couple of goals behind Cal Kirby over at Collingwood, can you believe it? So, who did kick a couple against us a few weeks ago, but we'll move on from that. And yeah, Tyson, like I say, he's sitting, I think, 25 for the year, so he's not even too far off the pack either. And another one of those guys who's really pushing for his spot back in the team as well.
So
after
did
playing a
they
few
both
games.
kick 4 on?
Both kick 3.
3, okay.
So they're the leading goal kickers there. So yeah, some great signs for them. And then one I thought which was particularly impressive as well, Jaden Short, we had one to forward and hit the score sheet with one as well. He had 27 touches and a couple of clearances and tackles to go with that as well.
That's good for Shorty. You know, he probably would have been disappointed, you know,
for sure.
to be sent back to the VFL, but played well.
He did play very well.
Where did he play?
Well, mostly off halfback, which is a position we're used to seeing him play in. Third quarter, when it was getting a little bit close for comfort, he did wander forward a bit. I mean, we have seen him from time to time. His debut, for example, you can see how effective he was as a forward in that game. But the thing I'd point out as well, Richo, you talk about how much he would have liked to really come out and play his role and, you know, after being dropped, show a bit of passion. 7 rebound 50s, I thought, really showed that. Played his role perfectly. That's what we like to see him do off halfback. So I think great signs for him. Week after he's been taken out of the AFL side.
What about another player with a bit of dash, Oleg Markov? How did he go?
Oleg Markov, particular fourth quarter standout, I thought. We were only up by 15 points at the last stop, can you believe it? So North Ballarat were really on our tail. A couple of huge one-on-ones Oleg was involved in, which he won and then rebounded and managed to get us on the score sheet. So there was about 3 or 4 contests he won right at the start of the quarter, which eventually helped us get our move on. And then, yeah, like I say, 20 disposals, 3 marks, 3 tackles as well. Yep. So I thought he was particularly his fourth quarter, but a pretty well-rounded game.
Now, what about Callum Moore? How did he go?
Yeah, not too bad. Didn't impact the scoreboard this week, unfortunately, Cal. But as a role that you've, I think, talked about, a bit of ruck work, somewhere you've want to see him. He's gone in there and got a couple of hit-outs as well, pinch hitting for Ivan Maric when it goes forward. So for 16 disposals as well, we've got Cal down for. So he gets a bit of the ball and he can move with it as well for a big man, surprisingly quick and very good hands as well. So his strengths are on show, and you never know if he keeps working hard. Hopefully we'll see him get back on the scoreboard in the next couple of weeks.
Any other standouts like Jacob Townsend?
Jacob Townsend, I thought, probably second best on compared there to Jack Graham. 25 disposals and 15 of them contested as well. You often see his best work when he has got another big body like Jack Graham in there as well. Like he's done that with Anthony Miles all throughout the year. So that was fantastic. 7 marks, 9 clearances and 8 tackles as well. So pretty decent numbers. And what particularly stood out for me was how the intensity never dropped for him throughout the fourth quarter. When we're clear by 40 points, he was still applying a lot of pressure, lots of tackles coming in. So I think that sort of attitude is going to really hold him in high esteem.
Okay, look, you spoke to one of the coaches after the game. Was it Ferg this week?
That's right, Ferg.
What did Ferg have to say?
Yeah, so Ferg was pretty pleased with the way the whole thing went. He was obviously of the point, like we have been this whole week, that North were a very different side to when we first faced them in round 1, and they've just come off their first win and pushed Box Hill as well the week before. So talking to us, he basically just said he was happy with the way the fight kept going and the way the boys embraced the challenge. Obviously, travelling all the way up to Ballarat on their home turf was always going to be a bit of a difficult one. But the way they took on that fight and showed a lot of determination was really pleasing for him to see.
Very good. Comprehensive. Quickly, where do we go this week?
We've got the bye this week. We've got a week off, Richo.
Another bye.
Another bye. We're doing all right.
It's dangerous when you have a bye too.
It is a bit dangerous, yes. Still recovering from last bye round.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the week after that, we are actually playing the curtain raiser against Geelong before we face them at Simmons Stadium. So it'd be great to see a few Tiger fans get up there a bit early and get involved.
All right, Lou, I know you're busy today. That's why you came off the top. Incredible scenes, really.
Rubbish.
I can't believe it.
I'm not having this.
Well done, mate.
Thanks, guys.
Good on you, mate.
Give you all we have to give, for all a man can be.
Well, there you go. That was the VFL report as Lou wobbles off. I'll tell you what, that pill of Lou's is struggling to get through the door these days. It's incredible how he's grown this year, isn't it?
It's a big 3KZ. No doubt about that.
It is. Hey, okay, Tone, let's get back.
Yep.
Yes.
JB.
Oh, the Tiger. What's wrong with it?
Well, every week you send around an email, Richo, about songs we want to go with off the top. And every week,
every week you
can
want
we
to
go
play
with
this
either
song?
Tiger?
Well, it's either that or something related to Royce. But anyway, the top was an obvious
why have
one.
we gone with
well,
that?
it's an obvious one this week.
Why?
Well, because
Say, Luke.
it's the eye of the big key forward Tiger,
gee.
Jack Riewoldt, right? And hopefully he's going to be all right this week. He missed his first game in 4 years.
That is the question,
Right, so
JB.
the big,
How's he looking?
Eye of the Tiger.
Well, we got till Sunday.
Yeah.
so
You got 5 more
he'll-
days,
Yeah, he's down for a fitness test, and we spoke to him before, and he seems confident that he'll play. And
He was in the office before, and he did.
the thing is, they've just had their meetings from last week's game, so we've got such a massive build-up to it. We'll name a squad on Thursday night, a final team Friday night, and then there's still 45 hours until the first bounce. So
They'll keep a close eye on him throughout the week.
yeah, I'd be looking. He just has to cross the T's and dot the
Dot the I's.
Lowercase J's.
Got the eyes, very good.
But
Very good.
the boys coped without him, but you wouldn't want to not have him this week.
No. It'd
Would
be
you?
very handy to have him back there for a big game, obviously, on Sunday against the Hawks. So, yep, great. And also, we'll tie us in because the team has got the eye of the tiger at the moment.
Yeah, they have.
Haven't they? They've got the real fire in the belly.
I'm going to get into it in my rant, so I won't get into it now. But a win's a win, a 5-goal win. They did what they had to do, and the Gold Coast have pushed good teams up there, and
Absolutely.
they've beaten good teams up there.
Yep,
so
for sure.
Yep.
don't just don't underestimate a good win at 5 goals on the road.
Oh, exactly.
Hey, Paddy Dangerfield, JB.
Yeah.
This is huge. This is huge implications for Paddy, obviously, and the game, but more importantly,
The danger tackle.
gee, it's
Dusty, mate.
He can't-
I have been.
I don't think he can lose now.
If we go back, I was probably saying this about round 4 that he was going to win the Brownlow. Massive chance.
well, I can't see him not winning.
Well,
now.
He's
God
walking a
forbid,
very-
He's walking a very, very fine line, obviously, with the MRP, and one more fine, and that's automatic.
but he's not
so-
that type of player.
Well,
Anyway.
no, but maybe he just needs to put the don't argue away, even because if that was an errant don't argue that could hit someone in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
But anyway, we don't
Well,
want
I
to
don't think,
away.
I don't think he'll go into a game thinking
No, he
about
won't.
the Brownlow
No,
medal,
he
and if he
won't.
does,
He
he'll probably
won't.
do something that.
Yeah, no, he
If
won't.
he second guesses how he plays the game,
Yeah.
I think he'll just keep doing what he does, and for him, it's about where the team finishes. So let's.
He's
I mean,
consistent.
Dangerfield, by not challenging, has said that he values
Team
team.
first.
he
Team
values
first.
the game against us in 2 weeks' time
Because-
over the opportunity to miss that.
Because
So
if he did challenge and lost,
he would have
he would have missed our
the
game.
Sydney game this week and our
And
game the week after.
Would have been handy if he had it there.
And that's what it's all about.
Would have been
I
handy.
sort
Would
of
have been
hope
a
he
nice
did.
challenge.
No, I like Danger, and I don't think he should have been rubbed out,
No.
but that's been covered pretty extensively the
But-
last 24 hours.
But you know what? I think regardless, I think Dusty is a fair bit ahead of him already.
Yeah.
I think he is ahead.
I
yeah.
really think he is. Look, the Herald Sun's got him on 35.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I've got him minimum 30.
Yeah.
So I reckon he's ahead of Danger no matter what, and Danger wouldn't have got votes on the weekend either.
No, and he misses.
So,
And I think
you know,
Dusty
so
would have.
yeah, and Dusty would have.
and then
yeah,
it's
so-
daylight to the next
Oh, yeah.
Clayton Oliver or
So I'm
Tommy
sure,
Mitchell.
Yeah, so I'm sure now that the AFL is hoping like, and you know, the AFL and Channel 7 will be hoping like crazy now that nothing does happen to Dusty.
Bruce will be nervous.
Yeah,
though.
I think, it'll be very interesting. That,
it'll be a good interview.
It'll be a good night.
It'll be, Anyway, we just hope because
Dusty might be
that'd
on the
awesome.
waters, hopefully, anyway.
Oh, well, exactly. The big game to play a few days after that.
So personal accolades you would have seen last night.
yeah.
Accolades, yeah, that's a word. George Costanza.
Yes.
Oh, Georgie boy.
Finally, he got the Rising Star
Oh,
nod that
yeah,
he probably
yeah.
should have got when he kicked 4 goals
Yeah. Well,
up in Brisbane,
well,
but he
he-
returned to Queensland.
he did filth up, didn't he, early in the year? Well,
Allegedly.
maybe it wasn't quite him, but well, he hadn't got one already.
His body of work, he had to get a nomination.
There's no doubt about that.
And they would have been waiting for him just to have another good game,
Yep.
basically.
I mean, I think we may mention this last week. He could have kicked another dozen goals this year.
I think
couldn't
he could be in the mid-30s.
He could be mid-30s.
Yeah.
He's kicked 23 as it is,
Yep.
which places him second behind Eric Hipwood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and it was interesting on the other night because he was really struggling with his set shots until he had that shot right on three-quarter time, the banana shot right from the boundary, went through,
Yep.
and then his next couple of set shots after that in the last quarter he was fine with.
Well, I don't want to go with your rant, Richo, but I think it shows a lot of character from George, the fact that he attacks every contest on its merit.
yes.
And doesn't, what happens previously in the game, doesn't let that affect
No,
how he goes about it. He could have easily walked off on Saturday night.
Yeah.
0 goals, 3,
Yeah.
and probably lacking confidence going into the Sunday, but he kept presenting.
Oh,
And that's the biggest thing
he
for me.
does.
I've heard some negativity around it, and I know what it's like because I've missed some goals and people get frustrated with you, and I understand that. I do understand that. You're paid to kick goals and you're a professional. But you do go through these periods, and George is having a few issues, I guess, with his goalkeeping. But I'm looking at the other side of it. He wants the footy. He demands the footy. He keeps going after it, and I'd rather him having 6 shots than putting it away and getting worried about it and not going for the footy. So well done to George. And the other thing, JB, that he does, his forward pressure's elite. And we had a record, was it, on the weekend with our tackles?
Yeah, I
inside
think on
forward
Saturday
50,
night we had the most number of tackles in the forward 50
27,
ever.
yeah.
And over the course of the year, Sean Grigg and George are leading the club's tackle count.
Griggy's
inside 50.
TT's own.
TT's own.
I didn't know that. So Griggy's putting a lot of forward pressure on as well. But that's our game. And George
Oh,
is
it
a
is.
huge part of it.
No doubt about that. No doubt, you know. And look, you know, Dan Butler was probably a little bit quieter, but
Yeah.
but then you know he's likely to bob up this week
Well, I
again.
think
So
it's almost a
One
trio,
of them
a
does.
package deal.
It is.
That he, Daniel, and Dan Butler,
They're not all
the
going
three.
no.
And let's back them in because they've
Yeah,
got us to the level that we are in
They're
now.
not all going to
so-
kick 2 or 3 goals
No.
every week, but it's not about that.
Daniel Rioli's game was...
He kicked 3.
He kicked 3 in the first quarter. He kicked our only 3 in the first
So
quarter.
this week,
he was
Daniel
really,
mightn't hit the scoreboard,
No,
and,
but
and
Dan Butler
Butts
might.
might.
Yep.
And that's what it's all about.
Yeah, and as you say, it's just that forward pressure too. It's just it's enormous. Really is.
Did you get taken by surprise yesterday? We better talk about it because Nick Rewalt's retirement.
God, I thought
We just
you
saw
meant
Jack.
something else.
We saw Jack then.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
he, He sort of only just
No,
found
I'm
out
not.
recently. I think he's only just sort of made his mind up.
I'm not surprised. You know, I mean, how old is Rui? He's what, 34?
Yeah,
34?
35 he
he's
would have been
35,
next year.
yeah.
17
He's
seasons.
had a stellar career, obviously, and he's been one of the greats of the game.
He has.
Obviously, let alone St Kilda footy club. So.
He's an automatic Hall of Famer as soon as he's eligible.
Absolutely.
I've never
so.
seen a forward with the work rate of Nick Rewalt.
Well,
an absolute champion.
Without sort of, you know,
No,
he very similar to yourself, wore the same number, an icon of his club, very much like you, and attacked every contest as if it was his last.
Yeah, he got every last drop out of himself, Nick.
No
so we
doubt.
congratulate him on his career. And
Yep.
he's got a tie in here with us at Tigerland with Jack, and he's Tasmanian as well.
Absolutely. And look, obviously, there's some sad news. Sad news that came through yesterday. One of the greats of Australian sports journalism, Les Murray passed away sadly at the age of 71, and obviously we send our deepest sympathy to Les's family and his friends.
You'd love Les,
he
don't
was
you?
great. He was great. He really was. He was iconic, and obviously it's the round ball game, but a bit of an interest in that. But
He wouldn't have liked aerial ping pong, would he?
No, probably not. But no, he was great, and of course we saw him when we were at the Olympics a couple of years ago. When we were at the Olympics, that's when we saw him there last.
Over in Rio.
In Rio.
Yeah, in Rio, we saw him there, didn't we?
I
He was
didn't think
over-
we didn't go to the Olympics. It got cut. I think he went to the World
the
Cup.
World Cup.
No,
World Cup.
sorry, the
False.
World Cup. I meant the World Cup.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
know,
what
I
I'm
know.
saying. The Olympics. Sorry,
Yeah,
the
no,
World
that's
Cup.
okay.
Simon Matthews
Gosh,
pulled the
yeah,
bunch
No,
on
he
there,
pulled
didn't he?
that. No, but we saw him, of course, at the World Cup. And
That's where he was
Yeah,
there.
no,
With,
it's
he was
sad.
there with Fossey.
Foss. No. So we send our deepest sympathy, of course, to his family and friends. Yeah.
I think we got a grab here, not of Les, but of another commentator, Richo, that you wanted to go.
Oh,
I don't know if this will quite live up to the level, but
Right.
I'm
It's
not
not
sure
funny
where,
again,
it
is it?
wasn't dark. This was actual moons.
This was the actual moons with Basher Hawley after the over. I found this funny.
Okay.
Girls are truly, they are princesses, and my two are, of course.
Wait till they get to about 16, then it'll be another story.
Yeah, well, I can
He's
vouch for that.
He's a bit nervous, old Moons, isn't he? He's got 3 daughters.
Has
so,
he? Yeah, no, well, I can vouch for that anyway.
I just found it funny. I don't think Basher was on the same wavelength as Moons.
No, I
was he?
don't think so. I don't think
You've
so.
got mail.
Bang, right off the top.
Wow.
Oof.
Brent Allen's emailed in. He's got a stump greeners for you
Yeah.
in honour
yeah.
of Georgie's Rising Star nom last night. He wants to know the only Richmond player to be nominated for the Rising Star in 2 different years. One Richmond player, Rising Star in 2
Is
years.
that before they changed the criteria, is it?
No, you can
Do you still get nominated?
Yeah,
too?
you can still get 2.
as long as you fit the
But
criteria.
they don't really do it often.
Yeah.
No.
This will get you. I
Geez,
reckon.
I think it's going to get me
It's
this.
a really good one.
Is it? Do I
Yeah.
get a clue?
Well,
Do I get a slight clue?
Give him one clue.
Just a really small clue.
He's still involved in football and will be in 2 weeks' time.
Oh,
We'll
wow.
be in 2 weeks'
I'm
time.
pretty sure.
2 weeks'
Yeah.
time. We'll be
I hope
involved.
so.
All right.
Oh, look, all right. Can we come back to it?
Yeah, we'll come
All
back
right,
to
come
it.
back to it. Okay. Right.
Anyway, we
just remind me again.
Oh, I think it's not. I think I know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got
I
an
think
email
I've got
from
it.
Chris Wiley. Hey boys, feeling very hyped for this weekend. Travelling over from Kuala Lumpur with the kids to watch the game at the G, and he can already see himself losing his voice. So thanks for sending that in, Chris. We got another one here from Jeff Newman saying buongiorno from Torino, Italy. Love listening to the Tigers. Just put in a mature performance on Saturday. And looks like more Brownlow votes for Dusty. Love that even without Jack, we were able to impact on the scoreboard. Maybe a bit more goal kicking before we play Hawthorn this week.
Where was that from?
Torino, Italy.
Oh,
That's from Jeff Newman.
Wow.
Newmo.
That's just
This
magnificent.
is
isn't it?
Torino.
Finally,
You been to Torino?
Oh, no, I haven't been to Torino.
Okay.
Simon Vidal from the Sunshine Coast.
AC would have been there.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, go on.
He's picked up something that he wants us
Had
to
an
talk about.
antipasto platter there, AC. Beautiful, beautiful sun-dried tomatoes.
Artichokes.
Artichokes.
Beautiful sun-dried tomatoes in Torino.
This is from Simon on the Sunshine Coast. He's listened to the podcast for the last few years in amusement about the Chiefs' antics.
If he's been amused previously.
Stay tuned.
Wow. Oh, boy.
This might be the best Chief watch
Oh,
ever.
yeah.
I can't believe we warned him very sternly a few years ago.
But he's noticed a concerning trend that Richo's been using the segment to slowly undermine the Chiefs' authority in a manner similar to Donald Trump's fake news.
You can't fancy accusing you of fake news with that.
All the while building his own nest in the football world with roles in the media, the All-Australian Committee and Shane the Train. It's led him to conclude one thing: Richo is gunning for the Chiefs role.
He wouldn't have time.
Or even one of the roles currently open at AFL HQ. So
No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't have time. He's got too many other gigs.
One thing I wouldn't do is what Chief did on the weekend.
No.
Yeah,
I'm
terrible.
not sure that there's another.
anyway, in all seriousness,
Male in Australia
he's a former Tassie boy and he idolises you, Richo.
Oh,
so
thank you.
good on you,
Thank you.
Simon.
Thanks,
for
Simon.
sending it.
Speaking of idolising you,
Who?
there's another one.
Ainsworth.
There's a Benny Ainsworth.
Benny Ainsworth.
Benny Ainsworth.
Did hear that.
Yes. Another one.
He could have been in your top 10
He
last
could
week.
have been, yeah.
We'll give a shout out to Scott Fredrickson on Twitter. He's been in bed with concussion since having a fall in the wet at the GWS game. He's been looking forward to the podcast all week. So
good.
shout out to you, Scott.
Yeah,
Well,
get better.
I hope we're making sense to him, man.
Probably not. Nathy G87. Hey, Tiger Boys. I'm tuning in today from Kuta.
Bali.
Yeah, Bali.
Oh, I thought he meant Anthony Kutafudi's place.
The Savlaki hut.
That's a lucky.
He'd be having a little bintang over there, would he? Little bintang.
He might have a bintang.
He watched the Gold Coast game at the local pub and ran into the push-up without his top on.
The push-up is over in Bali.
Is he?
The push-up king.
Is he? Yeah.
I think he's left the country, the push-up. He might come back. No, I'm joking.
He might open a parlour up there, tattoo parlour.
Yeah, I don't. No, he'll be back to push-up.
Hey, Roxman's got it. Have you guys noticed the double arm pump George does before each set shot?
Yeah, he does. He sort of, it's the lactic out
I
of
haven't
his arm.
seen
Is it?
But Roxman reckons once you see it, you can't unsee it.
He's,
Yeah,
a
no.
he's a twirler too. Were you a twirler?
He's a massive twirler.
Oh, I tried everything in front of goal.
Nothing worked either.
Anyway, finally we will whip through a couple more.
I hate the twirl.
Let him whip through a few.
Yeah,
without
sorry.
saying
No,
anything.
all right. I'll just,
Jess Benson reckons if we make the finals, it'll be
because we're not there yet.
the second time since the 1940s that we've played finals in 4 out of 5 seasons.
Yes,
So
done, Jess.
that's right.
Got to win one.
Oh, Manfred.
Oh,
Corey Ellis's mark and subsequent goal might be a watershed moment in his budding career.
well,
I like that.
I was going to make mention of that.
Okay, well,
that
hold.
was
Royce,
you know,
you're not going to say Royce-like.
It was Royce-like.
It was.
It was Royce-like.
He floated in.
It was Royce-like. I'm telling you.
He's just showing a few signs, isn't he, Corey? Yeah.
Brendan Fisher, shout out to Shane Edwards, the first Indigenous Tiger to play 200 games, didn't he? He didn't get much of it, but
Nah,
he
he was
played
all right.
very well.
No, he
He's
did.
good, he's good in traffic, Shane.
It's very clever. Very, very creative.
That's it.
That's it. Thanks, everybody.
That's good. That's very
Good
good.
stuff, JB. You're on today. This bloke isn't. Now, I'm just going to reel off a few terms for budgie smugglers, togs, bathers, speedos. Now, when you think of those, you think of your childhood. You know, every kid had a pair, didn't they?
An 8-year-old is an
Yeah.
8-year-old.
Yep.
You know.
What time in your life do you stop wearing them? Unless you're an Olympic swimmer and you're swimming properly. If you're just going down to the beach or the pool, what age do you think, boys?
Oh, probably once you hit high school and
So
you
what's that,
some of
12?
the older kids,
I would have thought 10 even.
yeah, 10. Yeah,
10 to
That's
12?
probably fair.
No, certainly not. You don't get into your teens wearing
No, you definitely cannot wear them as a teen.
as a teen.
You
no.
move into like the footy shorts even.
Yep.
Even then,
Board shorts,
probably some boardies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we've made the establishment there that I reckon 11 or 12.
Yeah,
So if you're 46 or 47,
Oh, I don't. You wouldn't even wear them to a fancy dress.
no, you wouldn't.
Would
Not
you?
even a Baywatch dress-up night.
No.
No, would you?
No.
You wouldn't even
If
wear
you
them.
were pretending to be Grant Hackett, you wouldn't.
No,
wear
you
them,
wouldn't.
Would you? No.
Well, I can deliver this devastating news
Oh no.
that the chief was spotted around the pool
Oh no.
on the Gold Coast on the weekend before the game. He was walking around the pool wearing a pair of Speedos.
No.
Yes, he was.
We've warned him before.
Yeah, remember a few years ago when he
100%.
was walking down the
Port
beach
Douglas.
in Port Douglas
Yeah.
with them on, and we said never again,
That
Chief?
was the yellow ones.
I think
Yeah.
I think they're at full occupancy as well because
Yeah.
there was a Broadbeach Country Music. The West Tigers were in town.
Yeah, no.
GWS near full side.
the
It was packed.
I thought you meant the Speedos were full occupancy.
What? No, Robbie Nahas wasn't there. No, but seriously.
As it was there?
No, but so he was, as you're saying, JB, the hotel was chock-a-block full.
Shockers.
It was
Yeah.
the hotel.
Well, unfortunately, Brendan was walking around in them until...
No. What
until-
colour were they?
No, I don't know. But this then happened.
tiger
And this
stripe.
was the catalyst. This then happened. Okay.
Oh,
So
no.
Brendan then cannonballed into the pool, right? Water went everywhere. Guess whose kids that splashed all over their club sandwiches? Who was staying at the hotel?
Aaron Fioras?
No, Troy Casadale. Troy Casadale.
Troy Casadale.
He was there.
What was he doing there?
Headline act.
He was there for the Broadbeach Country Music Festival, and his kids, Clay and Jem, were sitting around the pool.
No.
Chief soaked their club sandwiches, and he was he was escorted from the pool area. That was it. Don't ever wear them again, Chief.
Oh, that's horrendous. I hope no one videoed it.
It's going to be hard to find.
Jeez, I hope no one videoed that. Boy, oh boy.
Oh.
Those poor kids. They'll be scarred for life.
I don't know. We don't know their actual ages, but that's all right.
They're probably 20-something.
I hope no staff. Were other staff members there because they would be scarred for
No,
life?
they
There
were.
might have been a couple. Anyway,
no.
we've got a massive game this week against Hawthorn.
It's
Right.
massive, all right.
Jared Ruff.
Straighten up.
Sorry.
It's Ruffy's 250th
Yeah,
as
well
well.
done, Ruffy.
So,
What a
what a
champion.
star. And Hodgie's up at the tribunal tonight, so he
He's-
might get off.
Is he challenging?
He's
He's
challenging,
challenging.
Hodgie. Yeah.
So if he gets off, he just cops the fine, I think, and can play this week, which could be his final game of the MCG. So as a Richmond supporter, you probably don't want him to play, but it would
No.
be nice to
prefer
beat him at their best.
Prefer he didn't play.
So it's also the Alana and Madeline Foundation match this week. So we'll wear a commemorative Guernsey this weekend. 21 of them will be up for auction, but Kochers will be given away. But just by registering your details on our website, so we'll have that up in the next couple of days. Watch out for it then. Also before the game here at the Swinburne Centre Punt Road Oval with the new signage up now. It's looking very sharp. Before the Pounce will be on from 1 p.m, I believe.
Is that back before the Pounce?
It is back this
Pounce.
week,
Yeah.
so it's face painting, balloons, all the stuff for the kids. So get along to that before the game. And homecoming hero this week, Greeners, I'll over
Yeah.
to you. Two-time premiership player, Graham Bergen.
Bergs, very good player, Bergs. Really important member of those two premiership sides, dashing half-back.
And
then
team
became
manager.
team manager,
Team
didn't he,
manager
after
for
that?
a
Yeah.
long time.
Yep.
Great man, Bergs.
Yep.
So that's the club news. Well, we spoke about Jack's eye off the
Yeah.
top, so he'll face a fitness test later in the week, as will Dion Prestia, looking to get through this week and face up against Hawthorn. So he'll face a fitness test later in the week as well.
Good stuff,
Very
Joe.
So, and with the VFL playing, there's no further update.
Yeah, that's good.
Very good.
Well done.
I'm as mad as hell. I'm not going to take this anymore.
Hey, Tone, I got home
Yes,
after the game
mate.
Saturday night. Didn't see the game, but it was taped it on Fox and had a look at the game. And then I went through the social media and just reading some of the feedback from people on the game. And I'm seeing a lot of negativity from people saying, oh, we should have won by more. You know, if we play like this against the good teams, we won't win. Scrappy, skill, errors. Well, guess what? We're playing to our strengths. And that is a high-pressure game. High-pressure games are never the most skillful games.
Yep.
Look at some of the Bulldogs' finals during the finals series.
Correct.
Just pressure, the ball hits the ground, forced turnovers, and that's our strength. We're playing to our strengths, and people have got to understand that. You know, you're not going to see a circle work type game with Richmond at the moment. If you do, like the first quarter in GWS, where teams like that really can cut you up with their ball use,
Yep.
probably not our go at the moment.
Yep.
So I'm getting tired of hearing it. Just be happy that they're winning games and getting 4 points.
These are the same critics and people that said pre-game that this is a real danger game for Richmond.
Yeah.
A real danger game.
Especially when Jack went out.
Oh,
Yeah,
exactly.
But then when you don't win by 10 goals, you're not going to win.
Well, the thing is, we had probably enough opportunities to win by 10.
Yeah,
because
okay.
we missed a few. So
you know what I'm saying?
No,
We're
I'm
playing
just
to our
saying.
strengths.
No, I'm just saying it's still a good win. If someone said pre-game you're going to win by 33 points, you take it.
With no injuries as well.
Yeah.
Given, I don't know, like I was up there post-game, walk onto the Oval, it was like an ice rink.
Yeah.
And I reckon I've been to probably 4 games up there, and night games, and
They're
I reckon
always
every
slippery.
single one of them is dewy,
Yeah.
and it's never a good
So,
spectacle.
so in terms of the moisture, because we play well in the wet, but it's a different type of obviously moisture.
That's where someone who's played a lot of footy
So,
would probably
how
answer.
different is it then?
Well, I think it's
just
the
because it's
dew,
more
it's
slippery.
just slippery,
You can't
you know?
actually get footy because even in the wet of the rain, you can get more of a footing, I suppose.
Yeah, it's just different.
Maybe because it's just sort of sitting on the top
pouring,
of the
it's
ground
sort of
instead
the
of
dew.
going down in. Yeah, okay.
I don't know, but it was wet anyway.
yeah.
So just be happy,
Yep.
happy with the win, fair dinkum. And I think we've got a grab of Dimmer, just sort of talking about that.
Yeah, we probably couldn't capitalise enough as we would have liked, but it was a really brave effort by Gold Coast, to be honest, down 3 players after half time, and they hung tough. They gave us some trouble, so I thought they hung in really well. They challenged us throughout the course of the day, even when they were down 3 players. So credit where credit's due on their front. I thought they were terrific, and we probably weren't quite at our best today, but still managed to get the job done, which, good sides win. Sometimes they're not playing their absolute best.
So there you go, and we got the 4 points, and we would, of course, everyone would like to play better.
Oh, yeah.
Not many times you walk off the ground and go, "Oh, that was the perfect game."
But as you say, it was a test to go up there without Jack
And got the 4
and
points.
kicked nearly 100 points. We kicked
and,
98 points.
and of
so,
course, you probably would want to play better against Hawthorn this
well,
week, and that would
of
be what
course.
everyone wants to do.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, yes. Good sting. Good sting. I like it. It's a bit... it's only a little bit more upbeat than the previous one, though, isn't it? Just slightly more
So,
upbeat.
Tone, you've been saying, and Scott's pointed it out before you got here today,
Yeah.
you've been saying you're going to change your sting.
And I just...
You want to play this every week anyway, so there's your new sting.
I love it. I love it for the last few shows of the season. Fantastic. Anyway, so it's my top 10, right?
Oh, no.
And this week, it's my top 10 Hawk Tigers.
Oh, no, it's not.
Yes, it is. So the
Who
top
would've
10
guessed?
players that have played for both Hawthorn and Richmond.
You've done this every year
No,
for
I
6
haven't.
years.
I have not. Never
right.
done this one.
I'm going to go through the rundown. So you've done this before. But
Well,
anyway.
I haven't done this before. So in alphabetical orders, number 1 is Jeff Ablett, the brother of
The speedster.
of Gaddy. Yeah, suppose he used to win the grand final sprint. Thank you,
you've
Sconnors,
done
every
that
year.
before too.
Have I? He was a dual Hawthorn Premiership player and played 16 games here in a couple of years. Greg Deere, a teammate of yours, of course.
yeah.
Triple Hawthorn Premiership player and important member of our 95
He was
final
in
side.
your top 10 Tiger Animals team, wasn't he? Greg Deere.
No, he was in my Valentine's Day. Valentine's Tigers.
Whip through 'em, come on.
Number 3 is Mark Herbie Graham, a 200-game player at Hawthorn. Had a very good season for us as well. What season was he here with us?
Who was that?
Mark Graham.
Hebe, was it
2005.
Yeah.
It was 2005. Number 4, I'm only Kim Kershaw. I only put him in because he's the father of Abby Lee.
Kershaw.
Yeah. Who's just changed her name now to Abby Lee. I think she's dropped
Yeah.
her Kershaw.
Yeah.
Anyway, supermodel and actor.
Yeah.
Actress. Number 5, Alan Martello, Marty, triple Hawthorn Premiership player, and then played in our losing 82 grand final side, and was a very good around the grounds commentator at AW for many years. Number 6, Barry Rowlings, Premiership player at Hawthorn 76, 80 Premiership at Richmond, Jack Dyer medalist and captain of the club. Great bloke too. Yeah. Number 7 is Ian Scrimshaw.
Yeah.
Now Scrimshaw played at. He was actually in our qualifying final side and second semi-final side in 1980, and was dropped for the 80 grand final and replaced by Darryl Freem in that premiership side, and then had played at Hawthorn. Number 8, Ty Vickery, of course, who was here for many years, now at Hawthorn. Terry Wallace at number 9, triple Hawthorn Premiership player, and 1 season here in 87, then of course coaches. And number 10, rounding out, Peter Woosher Welsh, 75, great man, the late Woosher, 75 grand final with Hawthorn, and then 80 Premiership player at Richmond.
Great bloke, Woosher.
Yeah. Hey, can I just quickly mention too, right? I just that former player, right? He played at Carlton back in the 30s, 39 and 43, so he was served in the war. Then after the war, had 2 games there, but Keith Ray.
Yeah.
He turned 100 on Sunday.
Oh, happy
and to the
birthday.
best of our knowledge, he's the first Richmond player that's ever turned 100.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to the best of our knowledge, that Rhett told me that, Rhett Bartlett. So he turned 100 on Sunday. So happy birthday to Keith Ray.
That was better than your top 10, that
Yeah,
little
it
bit
was.
at the end.
Should have just gone with that, yeah.
The Beast did a nice piece on.
He did, the Beast.
Carlton website.
Tony
You
DeBolfo,
got
the Beast.
an answer for us for Stump Greeners?
Yeah, good. Well done.
Yeah, good point.
Have you got it?
Who knows? No.
You don't?
No.
Oh, there you go. Got him.
Beautifully bowled.
Who is it, JB?
Duncan Callaway,
Oh, Duncan
Callaway.
1993 and 1994.
Should have
there
got
you go.
that. He
I should have
debuted the
got
same
that.
day as you.
Yeah, I know.
Brent Allen.
Brett,
Got him.
Well
send,
done.
work.
Send
Excellent
in your
work.
address and size. Talking Tigers at
that's
Richmond
it.
FC. Mightn't matter your size because we'll just send out whatever we've got.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Oh,
sizes. Yeah.
All
Is
right.
it really? Okay.
Talking Tigers at richmondfc.com.au. Hey guys, a big game. You just mentioned Hawthorn then, your top 10 Tiger Hawks. What is the most important thing for you this week, Tone?
Ooh, geez, that's a
I'll
very good
go
one.
to
Just throw me
JB
there.
first.
Throw
What do
me
you
there.
think?
Yeah, go on. Yeah,
What
go
do you
on.
reckon,
Well,
JB?
off the top of my head, I reckon if you can keep them to less than 100 uncontested marks, we're in with a good
homework, JB.
we're in with a good shot every time they get
That's a
over
good-
that.
That's a good
It
point.
shows that they've got the ball and they're using it well,
Yeah.
and we can't get it. So,
When they control the game like that with their skills, it's hard to get the ball
yeah,
back. So.
that's all I can come up with.
Yeah, we're really going to have to lower our eyes going inside
Yeah, we are.
52 because
Well,
they pick it off very well.
That
don't
was
they?
going to be my point.
Oh, sorry. All right, well, I'll come up with something else.
Yeah, well, think of something, because if you kick it high and long, which, you have to do a lot of the time, but Sicily, Gunston, if Hodge, obviously if Hodgie plays, if he gets off, they read it so well in the air,
They
those
do.
guys. It's going to be hard. So we want it at ground level. I'm not sure Gunston and Sicily want to be chasing Butler and Castagna around. So, yeah, lowering eyes. Yeah.
Well, I'll just go for the predictable, the
ruck?
midfield battle. Midfield battle will be obviously.
I'll tell you who's in good nick.
Big boy.
And then curbing, big boy.
He got a
McAvoy.
perfect 10 in the coaches'
Yeah,
votes.
no.
Big
So
boy McAvoy.
Soldo and Nank are gonna, they're gonna have a big job to try and negate him, and also obviously curbing Tom Mitchell is pretty important. You know?
It certainly is. Yeah. What about your votes then, guys? Let's have a look at your votes from the Suns game.
Yes, go on, JB. You go first.
Oh, 3 votes, Dustin Martin.
I don't
Yeah,
change
those-
these any week. There.
No, copy and paste. He was another mature performance, strong around the contest, suited the conditions perfectly, and 3 votes, 1 goal, I think. Second was Trent Cotchin. I thought he was really, really good as well throughout the game. Set the tone for the team. And 1 vote I gave to Toby Nankervis, because I reckon he, with Soldo in the ruck, he went forward and took his opportunities and then was good around the ground as well. So
The goals he kicked were all snaps. He didn't get them from marks or
No.
anything. They were snaps.
snaps.
He's good at because he's good at ground level.
Yeah.
Isn't he?
Well, he roved one as well,
big
the
nag.
final
And
one.
he missed
so-
another one from.
Yep.
He should have kicked 4 because he missed another snap that he should have kicked from pretty close in. So.
And he had a set shot that didn't even make the
Nah,
distance. He
no.
thought he
no.
would.
So he was.
I
very
gave
valuable.
3 to Dusty. I gave 2 to Brandon Ellis, who I think is just quietly compiling
Very good season.
a very, very good season. We probably haven't recognised him enough with our votes, and I think people are really noticing Brandon now. And I gave 1 to Koch, probably stiff Koch. He's having a really, really good season.
Well, I go through to Dusty, and I mentioned last week, I think it's the best individual season I've ever seen from a Richmond
I
player.
can't believe you've
in
said that.
50 years of 50 years
Not
plus
because
of watching
Dusty's
it.
not having a good year, but I just thought, you would have thought KB or
Well,
Rice. or
there's probably a couple of KB seasons that were maybe
But that's
maybe
saying-
along the path.
that
But
is
it's
saying
right
a
up,
lot.
certainly right up there with them with anything that KB managed throughout. Yeah, I gave 2 to Koch for all the reasons mentioned. I gave 1 to Daniel Rioli because I thought in his first quarter,
Got
obviously
us going.
got us going. Yeah, his 3 goals and then after that, his pressure up forward too was terrific. So which was great to see.
Yeah, very good. Okay, the votes. Dusty's hit the ton now, JB.
Is this a
100
record?
102. No.
Hang on.
You asked me that last week.
Don't worry.
He cracked the
Don't
ton
worry.
in the coaches' votes as well.
He did.
Where
He
he's
did.
leading.
He's 7 ahead of Dangerfield in the coaches'
No,
votes.
you know what? I don't.
Yeah,
I
it's all right.
reckon-
I'll talk amongst myself.
No, well, that's all right. He's 102. Koch is 49. Rance 43. Grigger, our man. When's he in? Next week, maybe, Scott?
Yeah, maybe.
And
Yeah.
21.
The
Jack.
Sunday games are killing
Yeah.
Grigger
Yeah,
because
no.
they have all their meetings today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, And he's got to work behind at the Spud Bar too, doesn't
Yeah.
he? He's got the luncheon shift there today too.
Does he actually get behind the jump?
Yeah,
there, does he?
he makes them.
Yeah, good on him. Well, no, here you go. He had 103 votes on the 16th of August last year, so he cracked a ton last year as well. Okay?
Yeah, good.
All right. We haven't had a win for a while in this, have we?
Well,
We
go
have.
on.
If this was punting,
Go on, mate.
and we were,
No, we'd be down to our...
but
We'd be sitting here in our jocks, I
I've had
reckon.
a good win on the weekend.
Really?
My pockets are full.
Bulging.
Yeah, they are.
Like something else we spoke about before.
Yes, they're very full because I said that Basher would have 25 touches in his first game back.
How many did he have?
He had 25 touches.
Oh, you are a freak. You are.
I
You could
predicted it.
become a professional punter, I reckon. You're so right on the mark with
Well, you couldn't be any more right. I said he
No,
would
you-
have 25 touches in his first game back, and he had 25 touches in his first
How
game back.
prophetic.
So this week I'm going Alex Rance. Okay, they don't have an overly tall forward line at the moment.
No.
They've moved Gunston back, and they
Yeah.
like to rotate through.
Yeah.
So I think Rancy will have one of those big intercept games.
Who will he play on?
Well, if Ruff's down there, I think he should.
but Ruff
man.
doesn't go down
No,
there that
I
much.
know, but
Plays
so
on a wing rough.
So this is my point. I think he'll be in that mode where he's going to be doing a lot of intercepting
Okay.
on the weekend, and I think he'll have 10 or more intercept
He
possessions.
might get a kiss from, what's his name?
Will Langford.
Will Langford. Do you reckon Will Langford will try and kiss Dusty? Put him off?
No, I hope he doesn't.
Pretty interesting, won't it?
Yeah.
Anyway. JB?
You're in one of those little.
I'm a
Where
bit
are we?
silly today.
Um,
I'm a bit silly. I admit.
Last week, Shane Edwards for 20 touches and 2 goals, and he had neither.
No.
He
He had
played
nearly
well,
two,
though.
he had
He
about
had
19. Well, it
but
was close.
He played well and
Created a few.
can't put a price on very good possessions, which he
No.
did have. But yeah, that's a fail in a long line of fails. This week, Tom
Why
Mitchell.
don't you put your hand up like I do and just have a week off? Like
No,
I did?
because
Okay,
I've got to
go on.
keep
Right.
chasing my wins.
Right.
Tom Mitchell's in pretty good form, as we'd know. He's only been kept to... I saw him get 64 touches and kick 5 goals in a twos game once, Tom Mitchell.
Did you really?
64 and 5. And he didn't get in the team the next week. But
Up in
Did
Sydney.
you get the 3 votes in the NEFL?
probably. He has only been kept to under 30 touches twice this year, and I reckon Kane Lambert will go to him and keep him to under 30.
Good, good.
Okay, all right.
You had a week off.
Well, I had a
last
week off because I've just been deplorable in this. So.
And then we're talking the yellow and blackers, though, not just... Sorry, Greeners.
Hang on, I'll find my funny bone. There it is. Yeah. No, it's good. I liked it. But I'm back. This is a bit Hungry Jack. It will be Hungry Jack this week because he will be really Hungry Jack.
Double
Rewalker.
whopper.
I like it.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Double whopper.
Oh, you're not talking about that again. He will kick. He will kick at least 4 goals, Jack, and be the most dominant forward on the ground.
Yep, good. I hope you're right.
Yep. Good. There you go. Very humorous. You want another top 10, do you? You want another top 10?
No, please, no.
You
It's
sure?
run out of steam,
I
the
give you
top
my
10.
top 10 Royce moments. No? Well, it's ironic because it's the spirit of 67 and we celebrate that drought-breaking 67 premiership year, and Royce is front and square this week again. All right, so round 15, 1967, we played Saturday, August the 5th, played North Melbourne at the MCG. Now, we ended up winning the game. We were actually about 20 points down just before three-quarter time. Paddy Ganane had a shot right after the siren, 65 yards out, and kicked a goal. Got us within 14 at three-quarter time. We stormed home, kicked 7 goals to 2 in the last quarter, and 1. Paddy actually kicked 3 in the last quarter, 4 for the game.
So were we 6 goals 16 before he kicked that?
We were 7 goals 16.
Wow.
Until he kicked that.
Oh, sorry, we were 6-16 till he kicked it. Yeah,
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, no, we were 6-16 till he kicked 14-21, 105 to 13-7, 83. But the highlight or low light of the game came in the second quarter. Now Royce had kicked 2. He was on fire. He had 5 shots, kicked 2, 3. It was, and there was an incident. He went for a mark, and the North. You right there?
A nice lolly. No, I've got a little bag of lollies.
Yeah,
here.
where did you get them from?
You,
Yeah,
you
of
gave
course.
them to me.
Anyway, so John Dugdale.
The Haribo
Haribo, they're
Gold
gluten-free.
Bears.
Yeah,
Gold
all right.
Bears, they are.
Do you want the rest of it or not? You
Yeah.
prefer not.
Yeah.
Anyway, John Dugdale, who's a great of the North Melbourne Football Club, top fullback, he went to spoil a marking attempt by Royce. Royce collapsed, right? Got up and then collapsed again, was stretchered off the ground, ended up going to hospital, private hospital for observation. He had concussion and everything. Now, the Richmond supporters consequently booed Dugdale for the entire game, the entire match, just gave him the rounds of the kitchen and everything. But the Age, the following Monday, actually on the front page had a photo where Dugdale had tried to spoil the ball, but he'd actually missed and didn't hit Royce at all in the back of the head or anything.
Yeah, right.
He'd missed. Royce had just fallen over, obviously hit his head on the ground. That forced him to be the concussion and everything. So that was the story there. Anyway, couple of interesting things about this game. Other things.
I like this. This is
All
good
right.
info I didn't know.
North Melbourne revolutionised football this day.
How?
They were coached by Keith McKenzie. They actually did a pre-game warm-up at Como Park, right?
Oh, really?
At Como Park, before obviously coming down to the MCG. They ran onto the ground wearing tracksuits. It had never happened before in the history of the game. They actually wore royal blue tracksuits and took them off and obviously had their footy gear on underneath. And that was the first time it had ever happened
But
in the game.
They ran
out on the ground.
From Como, they ran here.
Well, I don't know how they got back here. They caught the tram. Oh, no. But they ran out on the tracksuits. It never happened before.
Oh, good.
Oh, good. And it was made a big deal of it back then.
No.
And your old man he was out he had a fractured thumb. He missed the game.
Did he play this year?
No, he didn't. He played the grand final. He actually acted as Tommy's runner for the day.
Oh, he did
He
too.
was Tommy's
Yeah, I
runner
know
for the
that.
day. Yeah. So there you go.
Oh, I do know that.
Yep. And apparently the quote from the Age, it said, in the third quarter alone, he was on the field 13 times. That'd be nothing these days for a runner.
Yeah.
The first time
So he was
before
like
the ball
a coach
bounced to
out on
start
the ground,
play.
was
Yeah, there you go. All right.
There you go. The old
Anything
bull.
else? That's about it.
Oh.
Speaking of ball,
Baloney.
oh,
You know what
I
I've
hope-
learnt this year
what have you learned?
with the stump greeners?
What's that?
I don't think you know as much about Richmond as
Oh,
you
I
think.
do, but I'm more focused on my top 10 when I come in here and the gags, you know. So I'm not really interested in the other stuff. Or anything you have to say or what the Chief's up to. Anyway.
Well, you seemed interested in it today.
It's extraordinary. Anyway, I started eating this chess set the other day, and it just tasted awful, really bad. So I took it back to the shop and I said, "This is stale, mate." And he replied, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Check, mate."
Griggy would like that one.
His wife would like that.
I know.
Yeah,
She enjoys your
likes
gags.
the gags. Anyway, this bloke came up to me, right?
Yeah.
This happened yesterday, right? He came up to me in the street. He said, "I'm going to attack you with a neck of a guitar."
Yeah.
And I said, "Is that a fret?" What do you call the soft tissue between a shark's teeth?
What?
A slow swimmer. Did you hit the two snails that were chatting on the footpath?
Yeah.
And one said to the other, "I'll have to cross the road," right? And the other one says, "Well, be careful. There's a bus coming in an hour." How do you make a hot dog stand?
Well, how?
Take its chair away. Which country's capital city is the fastest growing in the world?
I don't know. China?
No, Ireland's. Every year it's Dublin. And here's just a bit of advice. It doesn't sort of concern anyone here in this room except for probably me, but never go on a date, right, with cross-eyed people.
Why?
Yeah, well, they might be seeing somebody on the side.
You know, it's remarkable that you, after 175 episodes of this podcast,
Still come up with good ones.
have come up with these gags every week. I admire
It is
that.
extraordinary, isn't it?
Yeah. Thanks for those, Tone.
What?
Well done.
What, the lollies?
No, and them. The Gold Bears. The Haribo
excellent.
Gold Bears.
Anyway,
All right.
Go
that was
Tigers.
good. Yeah,
Come
big
on,
game.
Tigers.
Big game
Huge
Sunday.
game.
Hawks at the MCG.
Yep.
And they're in really good form. It's going to be a beauty. Thanks for joining us on Talking Tigers. We'll be back next week. Hopefully Griggy will pop in next week.